Call to order the Public Works and Utility Committee meeting on Wednesday, February 19th.
Trustee Moonen,
Present.
Member Miller,
Here.
Member Eberly,
Here.
Member Pless is absent and excused. Trustee Beal has not joined by Zoom yet, though she did indicate that she would. Engineer Neitzel.
Here.
Administrator Green.
Here.
DPW Director Willikowski.
Here.
And Clerk Capazzo Ketch to record the minutes.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Citizens' comments. Anyone wishing to leave comment, please step to the podium and address the.
Just gonna have to switch it on. Right on the top, round button.
I think it was. Oh, here we go. Good evening. I'm Jeannie Sigenthaler. I apologize. First of all, I have a cold. I'm the superintendent at the Richmond School District up here. I see item 7 on your agenda discusses the temporary water flow meter. I want you to know that I am in my 6th year as superintendent of Richmond. I've been working with both Don and Dan on continuum of issues with our water flow and our lift station. Since the year 2017-18, we've spent over $95,114 on our lift station. We have had burnt out pumps. We've replaced them. We have done smoke tests. We have run cameras through our system. We've done dye tests. And if you look at the data on your water flow charts, oddly enough, there's an increase of water on weekends and over Christmas break when we don't have any bodies in our building and there's no rainfall compared to days where we have 412 students and 55 staff in our building. There's some kind of error going on. And I know as you look at this agenda item tonight, what is our long-term plan? When will laterals be put through this cross road here? Just because it's been a huge expense for us. It's probably been the #1 nemesis for our school board over the last 6 years is this pump station. So if we can continue to work together and not continue to hopefully not have that well meter expense at 100% of the cost of Richmond, we're willing to work together with you. But there's some kind of flawed error going on. So just wanted to bring that to your attention. Thank you.
There's no one present on Zoom.
I have a correction for the meeting minutes. My last name is spelled incorrectly in the
That-
attendance.
Darn autocorrect.
Otherwise, I'm just good with it.
Got it.
Thank you.
That's like 3 times it's done that to you, Jane. I am so sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. I just wanted to have it legal.
I'm sorry, that was a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
And okay, motion made by James, second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, passes 3-0.
All right, so highway, we had 5 winter weather events, not a whole lot going on. We finished cutting at the village hall and LCP for brush and trees. A lot of truck repairs that we did on truck 17. In the numbers there, you can see how much parts cost for doing the repairs. The guys saved about $1,500 in parts just shopping around. Instead of just getting straight from the dealer, we looked through other vendors, and then everything was done in-house, kind of squeezing numbers through talking to International, how much it would have cost to do those jobs and us taking out in-house. We saved about $12,000. So the guys did a really good job with that and just a lot of other truck repairs. We had a few breakdowns, but the cold weather kind of just wrapping up all that. Parks Department, tree and brush cutting, ice skating rink, and then PM on the mowers and tractors. And then for me, I talked with Dan and Mitch for getting a future 5 to 10 year plan for road projects. We interviewed some applicants for the vacant highway position and met with Mitch out at Oktoberfields for check the status of the development, and then working with Surway on a boom mower for a drum replacement possibly. Got to work with Tiger on that one because I try not to eat the whole cost on the $6,000 to repair it. Just because I feel like we shouldn't have to replace a drum that soon, so kind of working with them on that one, and then just worked with the guys out in the field and typical office work.
Thought plumbers were expensive.
Questions for you, Debbie?
No.
Okay, in your packets, my report for the month of January. The flows at Janine, Plainview and Willow Springs all remain consistent for the month of January. Nothing seemed out of line there. Richmond School Lift Station had a total runtime of 60.4 hours, or an average of about 0.9 hours for pump one and an hour for pump two. The well reading at the school for the month of January was 74,200 gallons. The month prior for December was 46,500. As mentioned, Dan and I had a discussion with the school administrator and buildings and grounds from Richmond School, just to talk about what we've been working on in the past, what we're trying to get determined, kind of the lack of as-built for the school to tell where some of the storm drains and roof drains go. And then also about getting a quote for a temporary flow meter to measure the sewer flow versus what the well's using, or the well pumping. So that's in the packet later. Fire station flows were down for the month of January compared to December. Just a little over half of what we seen the month before. And then for Casey's, the flows were also down about 4,000 gallons from what was seen in December. Aside from that, all the charts and everything are included in the packet. Any questions?
No.
Thank you.
Six, unfinished business. Discussion and necessary action regarding quotes for installation of a flow meter at Business Park East and
All right, in your packets are the 3 quotes needed for the permanent flow meter at Business Park East. As we discussed in the past, when that Business Park East went in, there was only the initial development of Wyckoff that was going in. There wouldn't have been enough flow to put the flow meter in at that time. So now with basically the whole Business Park East being built out, get the flow meter in so everybody's not being billed off of their well usage. The one we were waiting on was from We Energies. I think that should be the top one in your packet. All she supplied was an email. It's for $5,852.65. It's her ballpark estimate. They will not firm that number up until they get approval to finalize their design. Initially, they thought they'd be coming out of the subdivision across the creek to get to the location where the flow meter would go, which is on the east side of Town Line Road. in speaking with Cynthia from We Energy, she confirmed they'd be coming off a town line road, not from the subdivision and across the creek. So that's for We Energies. The first one's for We Energies to supply power to the site. The next one in your packets from Next Electric. They would be doing the meter installation, putting the control panel up. Basically, so installing everything that LW Allen supplies. The quote from Next Electric, $19,788. And then the third one is from LW Allen or Electronics, and that one we previously approved at a prior utility committee meeting. I just figured I'd include it back in your packets for consideration. Any discussion? Both LW Allen and Next Electric, I confirmed with them that their quotes are still valid even though they're beyond 30 days.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I have a question. Is this quote from We Energies for putting it in now with winter rates or
Nope,
not?
nope.
So we might as well just figure $10,000 for We Energies.
I thought we talked about waiting.
No, we'll be doing it after winter.
We are.
But by the
gonna
time
wait?
they get everything ordered and everything, yeah,
Okay.
yep.
No,
And again, this is a TIF expense. You know, it's TID eligible.
So the total cost, and I'm following correctly, is they give me the 38 from the LW Allen Electronics plus the 19.7 from Next plus.
Correct. Yep. So Altronics is supplying the meter itself, doing the testing. Next Electric's installing the meter, putting a control panel up. And then obviously We Energies is getting the power to the site.
So are these the only sources that, I mean, I understand the We Energies part is single source. Are the LW Allen and the Next Electric, are they the only ones available to do the work?
LW Allen's who Sussex uses for their telemetry and flow monitoring. And then Next Electric is also they work with LW Allen for the most part and also in Sussex. So we're just trying to keep everything consistent from that standpoint. I can get other quotes for the other two besides We Energies if you'd like, but that's who Sussex wanted to work with.
wouldn't Sussex? Does Sussex specify the flow meter that you need to use?
Lannon specified the flow meter.
Okay.
Cause that's the Lannon interceptor.
Okay, so that sets up LW Allen or whatever they're called these days. But there's $20,000 for Next. Is there any reason that we should look and get a quote from somebody else for installing that?
We definitely can.
Yeah, that was one of my concerns. I mean, even, does it have to be LW Allen,
They're the rep for the area, for the meters,
but they're the only ones?
pretty much.
Not that says it, I mean, they can't be the only ones that install these in the area.
LW Allen supplies the meter. Next Electric does the install. Or for these quotes, Next Electric will do the install.
Is this meter that we're having to install that Landon is specifying only available from LW Allen?
I can see if anybody else carries it, but
Because my next question is, if you got $20,000 for the electric and 38,000, don't we have to bid this?
I think we discussed that with Kathy at a prior meeting and she had said no.
What is the current limit these days?
Yeah, per our policy, we would have to unless it was identified that it was
Isn't the limit like, is it up to $30,000 or $40,000?
25, I thought.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't we be, since we have time to do this, why wouldn't we bid this out, publicly bid it? Not call people, but publicly bid it like a real bid. Whether it's TIF or not, it's still money.
You're absolutely right. That was one of my questions, that's why I wanted to, if it's a package, why not? Maybe somebody can do it and source the other materials.
Well, if we publicly bid it, not only that, but we get the bonding and we get the insurance and everything else, and I mean, everybody's bidding apples to apples. And we're talking $60,000.
Yeah, I think that's the responsible thing to do.
Yes,
Don, is it customary that someone provides the infrastructure and also installs it, the same company?
No, not necessarily.
I would think we bid this as a package and then it's up to them whether or not who they get as a sub.
Yeah, you still have an equipment supplier and subcontractors install and things of that nature. So yeah, we can put it together and get it out to bid.
Is that gonna run through the village or through, Uncle?
It can be run through Kunkel, but we'll be along for the process. I also would want to talk to the attorney to make sure this might be a requirement for public bid if it's over 25,000 for public infrastructure, so. We'll run it by, our attorney and then I'll work with, Don on getting a bid together.
I would, no, I mean, we need to publicly bid this, and is this going in, what is this going in? There's an existing manhole there for this, and there's room for it?
It's already built for it.
Okay,
So do we want to include We Energies as part of that bid, or do we want
yeah,
to
they can get that
get
on
that
their
quote
own.
out of there? Okay,
That way we only have to write one check for
okay,
one entity,
all right.
is my opinion.
Part of this, so, staff needs any other direction, let us know. Other unfinished, we'll move on to 7A, new business, discussion necessary action regarding quote for installation of a temporary flow meter in the Richmond School sewer lateral and recommendation to village board of the same.
In your packets, what we talked about last month is a quote for installing a temporary flow meter in the sewer lateral upstream of the lift station at Richmond School. The quote is for 1 month. They would do 2 downloads in that time. We could set it up to measure, by the minute, hour, whatever we want, but they'd come and download the information every 2 weeks. And then at the same time, we'd be getting flow readings from the well to compare the well versus the sewer lateral. So if this is something we wanted to consider, that's the price.
So if it's $3,500, put the meter in for a month, obviously we have to coordinate this with the school, so we have users at the time that we don't do it over Easter vacation or something.
And I didn't know if we wanted to wait until spring when things are thawed out.
Does this get installed in the pump station?
No, this gets installed in the lateral, so there's a manhole between the lift station and the school, so it would go in that manhole.
No work in that manhole?
Correct,
Existing? Okay.
correct, yep.
And on top of this, there's gonna be costs on your part?
Aside from coordinating this, no. I mean, they'll download the information and send it to us. We'll look at it, but I mean, in terms of additional costs, no.
Well, there'll be costs for you to look at the data and stuff. I'm just
Yeah,
trying to make sure.
That's just part of our monthly engineering that's included on in our invoice. Yeah, I mean, an hour here or there, that's it.
Okay. Well, my thought is we should go ahead and do this. The timing of it should probably be in April or May.
And I think ultimately it should get us the information that both entities are looking for.
Yeah.
We'll be able to have a well reading and a sewer flow reading. And in theory, they should either coincide or if one's versus the other, then we know that there's a well meter problem or there might be infiltration coming. So those numbers should essentially match.
Do we know, when's the last time that wall meter's been checked, so we don't do,
Said he's tested it before.
oh, is it Sussex's?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's right, we talked about that last month, okay, I just wanna make sure we only have to do this once, hopefully. I'd make a motion, go ahead and
Yeah,
install this.
I mean, since you are an agent of the school and this is going to be a joint venture, is there any objections from your point or?
If you do look at, maybe I apologize for my cold.
Jeannie, can you speak into the mic so we get it on the recording?
If you look at the month of April, we have Good Friday off and Easter Monday off. Right now, those are the only 2 days where we wouldn't have students.
Okay, that's not gonna make a difference.
Sure.
I just wanna make sure we don't have
The whole week of
and
spring
we
break,
lose
that's
them
in
for a
March.
week.
And then is this cost going to be incurred by the Township of Lisbon? $3,500.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're checking your equipment.
It's a 35-65 split for maintenance. And then if it's a major item, then it's, I believe, a 50-50 split, but that is a $5,000 minimum for something major, so
This really isn't maintenance, though.
how you look at it.
What
It's,
I'm just curious.
Do you have any objection to considering it maintenance?
And that's the 30. And that's what we've done in the past, unfortunately.
I think both the community as well as the school will benefit from finding out this data.
True, we've done everything else. We've done cameras, we've done the dye test, we've done the smoke test. We have not found anything, so I guess it's another piece of data. We didn't do the engineering on this system, so we'll see what we can find moving forward, but April would be an appropriate month to do this.
I'll make a motion to proceed with this at cost not to exceed $3,500.
Motion made by Mr. Everly,
Second.
seconded by Jane. Any?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 2-0.
We'll make sure and coordinate the timing for this with the school.
Looking for items under number 8 for future agenda. So this won't be back before March. We'll just, yeah, we'll just do a new topic when the results come back to report on the results.
Looks like the only thing that I've got coming back would be, the Business Park East flow meter, bids, once those come back.
Does committee want to review that bid package before it goes out, or are we going to put it together and get it out?
Well, we've got time, so I'd like to see it to make sure we see it, and it's gotta be reviewed by staff and by, excuse me, the village attorney, and then we can send the thing out.
Okay,
I guess you're just looking to review yourself, you're not looking to push it back to the committee. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, it's up to,
I don't need to see it.
Yeah.
I think as long as the attorney has reviewed it and Don knows how to put this back
Okay.
together.
Fine. Yeah, I would just say,
Okay, bring back just the final bids.
Individually send it in the committee for review, and if it needs to be discussed in open session, we can do so. By agenda.
Okay.
Anyone else have anything? All right, it's 5:58, we're looking for a motion for adjournment.
I make a motion to adjourn meeting.
Second.
Second by Mr. Everly. Further, All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None, and, we're out at 5:58 PM.
Okay.